My name is Michael and welcome to a new GTK Expander tutorial. At this point we know a lot of things about how we create our label for our expander, or better say how we start with our GTK Expander object. And now it is time to move on, and the next thing which we are going to do, we are going to create these two expander right here. One which has the spin button inside, and the second one which has the grid with those radio buttons inside it. This is what we are going to do in this video, so let's get started. For this, what do we need? Like I already said, we need two expanders, so we are going to create expander 1 and expander 2. We need the GTK widget, and we need the spin button, so spin button, and of course what do we need? We need the radio buttons, so we are going to say GTK widget radio button 1, 2 and 3, 2 and 3. And of course we need a new grid as well, so a second grid which will be the grid 2. Just to be sure that you understand, I'm going to make them clear. So we are going to create a grid, another grid, two expanders, which we need to have one spin button and 2 or 3 radio buttons. Okay, for this, first thing first, we need to create a second grid. So let me do it like this: grid 2 and grid 1. It will be better and much easier to understand it. The grid 1 is only there because we need to put all other childs inside. The grid 1 we need it for the radio buttons. Okay, so now we have those two grids. Now we need two expanders. Expand, how did I call it? Let me go back a little bit. We need to go to change demos and then to expand. No, I need to change today. Really? Yes, and now I'm going to run. So the first expander says set spin value. Okay, this is the way which we are going to do right now as well. So the first one will be set spin value. The second one, this is the expander. How did I call it? Expander 1. Okay, let me use another score as well. Another one. Okay, so now we have the expander 1 and the expander 2 also. Expander 2, it will be called, how it was, operating system. Operating system. Now because we have them both, let us now, I'm going to move this call down here. Now let us create our next, the spin button. Spin button. GTK spin button new with range. I'm going to use new with range because I don't want to use an adjustment right now, which means we need a minimal, maximal and a step. So I'm going to say 0, 10 and of course a step of 1. All of them needs doubles, so I'm going to follow even if the implicit conversion should take place, but I'm going to do it. Now that we have the spin button, what we actually need to do now, it is we can no, let us create first the radio buttons. So the radio button 1, it will be GTK radio button, radio button new with range. Sorry, new with mnemonic, with new with mnemonic, and I'm going to say, because we need a group and so on, the first one will be null because this one will be the boss. Just follow the GTK radio button playlist to understand more about what I'm doing here. And what I did here Linux, Mac and Windows. So this is what we are going to do also here. Linux is the first one which we are going to use. The second one, the second button, it will be Mac Mac, and the last one it will be Windows. I said yes. Okay, now what do we have here? We have created a window, we have two grids. We have added the first grid inside the window, and then we create two expanders, one spin button and two radios. Inside of the first expander, the expander number 1, if we can call it like this, we are going to put those radios. But before we do that, we need to join the radio buttons, because without joining them they will not work as we need them. Radio join, no, how was that, how is it called? Radio button, yeah, radio button join, sorry, button join group. This is what we need, because we need to join them so that they are coupled together. Okay, so GTK radio button is the first one, radio button, which is radio 1. We need to connect them, basically radio button 2 and 3 with the radio button 1. So I'm going to say radio button 2, this is the first one, and then we need the second call, which is the source. Yes, so the source will be, of course, radio button 1. What should be another thing? Okay, so now we are connecting basically the radio 1 GTK radio button 2 with the button 1, and once that we connect them, now we can connect, of course, or we can join the radio buttons 3 also with button 1, or we can connect with button 2, whatever, because they are still in the same family, isn't it? Once that button 2 is together with button 1, button 2 can be connected with button 3. You don't need to explicit pass or use button 1 for both them. Okay, now what do we need? Like I said, we put the grid inside the window, which is very important. Now we are going to attach those grids. That's very important, to attach those two expander inside the grid. So we have expander 1, and of course we have expander 2. And now, because we put expander 1 and 2, the expander 1 will be at a position 0 0 0 left 1 0 left 0 top. The next call, what I'm doing right here, I need to indent it. And of course the second call will be for 0 1 and top, 0 left and 1 top. It's complicated to talk all these things again and again. Now what do we need? The next call, what we need, let's see, because we have those two expanders, we create all those information. In the first expander we said that we need the radio button, the spin button. So this is basically what we are going to do now. Now we put the spin button inside the expander, because this is very important for us. Okay, in the first expander. So I'm going to say just a GTK container, add GTK container, which just you need this call because it's only one child which I'm going to use right now. So this one will be, of course, in the expander one, and of course our spin button. Now, because we have it, the next thing which we need to attach those three buttons. For this, I'm going to make a copy of this one right here, because we need now to attach those three radio buttons. One, okay, I just noticed that we have a problem here. It should be 3, and now it's fine. Okay, so what we are going to do right now here, in the second grid, in the grid 2, we are going to put basically radio 1, radio 2, and radio 3. Now let me see if we have everything. Okay, so what we did here, we create a window. We have 2 grids. The first grid goes inside the window, and then the first grid has everything which needs all the information, which means in the grid 1 we need to put those 2 expanders, which is true, I hope. Expander 1 and expander 2, it is inside the grid 1, not inside the grid, because it is a grid 1. And because those expanders we have them in the grid 1, now we need to put inside the expander 1 the spin button, which is true, we did. And in the expander 2 we need to put expander 2 in the grid 2, which I forgot. You see? So this means I need another call. It's quite crazy, but once that you use it again and again, you will notice that where is it? Right here. So copy it and let me put, now we need to put here will be the grid 2 and the expander 2. Now let me close this one because we don't need it anymore. To not create confusion, I'm going to call the terminal. I'm going to compile it and see what happens if we have errors, because I talk so much and so fast maybe that whoa, we don't have any error, which means I was good. I hope so. We'll see now. I just compile it. Okay, attempting to add a widget with okay. Anyway, it's working, but I have a mistake which I'm going which I'm going to fix it. So let us go back a little bit. Where's the mistake? It's good when we have mistakes because we learn from them. We created a window with 2 grids. The first grid is the main grid. In the main grid should go those 2 expanders. Let's see where goes expander 1 and expander 2. Expander 1 and expander 2 goes in grid 1, which is good. Okay, grid expander 1 has no life anymore. Okay, now expander 2 should go in grid 2, which is true. It goes, oh yes, here is the problem. Here I think I made a mistake because I said those 2 expanders should go in the, okay, in the expander 2 should go the grid 2. You see? Yeah, here's the mistake which I did, because I need the grid 2 to be the child of the expander 2, not the expander 2 the child of the grid 2, because inside the grid we put those 3 radio buttons, isn't it? So now we have our spin button which works fine, and of course we have some problems. You know why, isn't it? Yes, because we did those copies here and we didn't took care about the position of them, which means that radio buttons 3 and 2, they are on the same position. You see it yourself. So we need to use them with the top 2 for the radio button 3. Now we have the spin value, which works fine and nice and clean. And of course we have the operating system Linux, Mac and Windows, which as you can see works fine as well. So this is, guys, the thing which we did today in this video. We created those 2 expanders with different information. We saw how we connect them, and we saw how and which kind of widgets we can put inside. We saw that in one expander we can put 1 widget if you want to, and we saw also that in the second expander, if we need more widgets, then we need to put a grid. And once that we have a grid in the second expander, then we have the opportunity to put as many as child as we want to. I choose to use 3 childs or children, and those 3 radio buttons are working fine, and this is the way how you do it. Okay, that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.